I think I'm going to go ahead and start a podcast and talking about local politics, local land use. And she said, what are you going to call it? And I said, well, if I were choosing any name, the name that I really would love to throw back into my detractor's face is the NIMBY term. And I said, I'd love to come up with the NIMBY term. And a little background on that, I had never heard of a NIMBY. It was 2021. I was at a supervisor meeting, and I had given a talk in front of the dais about my opposition to some data center going through or some housing community going through. And as I'm walking away, I had a lady call me a NIMBY, and I had never heard of it. So, thought it was a made-up term. Started walking away, met a group of friends, and I said, I just got called a NIMBY. And they just laughed. They said, yeah, that's what they call us. And I said, what does that mean? And they're like, not in my backyard. I said, okay, yeah, I don't want the digital gateway. I don't want, buildings that would equal, I think it's 148 super Walmarts being built in a agricultural area, being built in a residential area. Yeah, I'm totally against that. What's wrong with that? And they're like, well, the thought is that if they call you NIMBY, that takes away your voice because you're just interested in this because you don't want this in your backyard. And I said, I believe my own, heart of hearts is that if it's affecting you, if it's affecting your backyard, you should be the one that has the loudest voice. You should be granted a voice and you should be heard. And that's true all over the country. Whenever we see these things going on, the people that are directly affected are the ones that stand up first and bring attention to the issue at hand. So I said, I'd like to turn that around and say, rather than just being NIMBY, I want to be an audacious NIMBY. I want to be proud. I want to wear that with a badge of honor. Call me NIMBY all you want. I don't care.